What's going on, guys? Welcome back. Another video for you today. Do me a favor, take a moment, hit the like button, subscribe button, criticism in the comment section, Twitter. I am Shutdown Safety. I'm pleased to be joined by the head coach of the Salt Lake Screaming Eagles, Coach William McCarthy. You can follow him on Twitter at Coach W. McCarthy. Coach, signed two players this week, Anton McGee, Devin Mahina. Could you talk about what the fans' role was in those acquisitions?
Well, the fans were involved with both acquisitions. So what we do is we have, I think, 68, 70 scouts that are out scouting the country and even internationally looking for players. So what they do is they put them on a list of prospects, and then as a whole group, we actually talk about who we saw, who we liked, what we liked about them. So the first part of the process was someone went out and found him. So I went through and contacted him. Antion was interested. So we put him up for a group debate, and everybody kind of got to do their 2 cents and do their due diligence to take a look at him. And everybody seemed to like what they saw, and everybody kind of thought that he was going to fit in and be a good prospect that we're going to bring into camp. So we moved forward with the signing process and got Antion to be under contract to be the first player ever signed by the Salt Lake Screaming Eagles and the first player ever found by a fan for a professional team. So that's kind of cool, and I think that's a neat aspect of it. The other prospect that we signed is Devin Mahina. Now, Mahina played at BYU, so he's a local kid for us, and also was in camp with the Washington Redskins for a little bit. He's a big kid, 6'6", and I think 260 pounds, so I don't know who's going to cover him or how they're going to figure that out, but good luck with that one. So, same process that he was presented to the scouts. Everybody got to take a look at him, evaluate his film, and give their 2 cents and kind of take a gander at him and see if they like what they saw. And I think everybody kind of saw the same thing, that I don't know who's going to cover him, so let's see if we can get him in here. So we got him under contract, and he'll be coming to camp with us probably in February when we start camp.
Now, you'd mentioned there that Devin came over from the Redskins. Probably not the best time to make this connection, but their current coach, Jay Gruden, obviously only spoke very highly of the Arena Football League. His former team, the Orlando Predators, actually suspended operations this week, but the AFL opened a lot of doors for him. Obviously, it didn't hurt to have a brother in John, but what type of opportunity do you think the Eagles can offer a fan or a player that are maybe looking to expand their own opportunities in football?
I think as far as the players, whether it be CFL or NFL, if I'm not mistaken, the list is above 70 from the guys that have come out of the IFL. So there's a lot of guys that are getting opportunities to put together that film and also gain more exposure. For a lot of these guys that are coming into these IFL and even the AFL at some point in time, some of these guys might have been from lower schools or local programs where they weren't per se going against the top competition, where they weren't getting that exposure and that evaluation that the guys at the Division I schools might have been getting. So it's an opportunity for them to put together some film against maybe some of the same kind of guys. And I've explained this before. In college, for instance, Division I think there's 115, 118 Division I programs. If you're the number one receiver at a Division I school, that's great. There's 115 other guys that are the number one prospects at the Division I school. Now, when you start adding in Division II and Division III, Division II I think is 200-something. Division III, I believe there's 400-something colleges. So there is 600, 700 number one wide receivers that are, in theory, coming out every year to go to the NFL. Now, they might sign 20, but they're all going to be the number one receiver. So you go from being the big fish at your school to now you're just another fish. So trying to find a way to stand out and trying to find a way to make yourself attractable and appealable, some of the guys need some more opportunities. Some of the guys need that opportunity that the IFL can present or the AFL, and that's kind of we're still trying to figure out what their situation is, just like you said. But those opportunities are there, and that's kind of what the draw has been for trying to put the FXFL, the Spring League, and trying to do some of these other things that are going on, is that there is so many guys that are capable of playing. Some of them just need that platform. They need that opportunity to showcase what they can do.
Obviously, fans having input into a team has been kind of a new situation to everyone. Can you talk maybe about what your perception was of what a fan-run team could be and maybe how it's changed early on into this process?
I think early on, everybody, including myself, was a little skeptical about it because when you hear the fans are going to be calling the plays, you kind of stop and go, huh? But the more I got into the process, the more I'm starting to see what it can be and how we can use that to be beneficial. As far as how it's changing, it's kind of, I guess, I when I talked to the organization about it, I was kind of very upright about what I was looking for. It's going to kind of play into play into things, and we're still manipulating that aspect of it to see how it's all going to come together, to see what's going to be the most beneficial thing that we can do and how we can make this actually work. Because you can't just have 20,000 or 10,000 or however many fans. You can't just have everybody up there going wild and drawing up their own play. So trying to find that structure and that process that's going to be able to get everybody's opinion and everybody's vote, have it streamlined down into one single play that's going to work and it's going to be successful. So it's a working process from that aspect of we're still working on the app and how the app is going to work. And, how many plays are going to be presented for a run, how many plays are going to be presented for a pass. And we want to make sure that it's giving the fans an opportunity to make that selection. Because of the time frame, you can't be Madden football where you're giving people the whole playbook because it would be too much to look through. So we're trying to limit it down to, okay, for instance, here's 3 runs, here's 3 passes. These are ones that we've worked on. These are ones that we're comfortable with. What do you guys think? And to some extent, it's no different than what a coach is doing anyways with his game plan. So I have my call sheet, and it's 3rd and 12. Well, I already have 3 pass plays that I'm looking to run on 3rd and 12. I'm just trying to figure out which one it is. So from my standpoint, it's no different whether I make the call or whether 10,000 people make the call.
As a scout, we had the opportunity this week to sit down with former scout in the NFL, Michael Davis. We learned a lot about what he looks for in players, trends in the system. You guys have a tryout in Dallas on October 22nd. For a player who's on the fence about going to that workout, could you talk about the importance in terms of actually signing talent, not just now, but maybe also in the future, that first tryout is going to involve and have?
Well, hopefully we can get a strong turnout for the tryout. I know it's a little bit late in the day that we got to put the announcement out there. But we definitely are looking for talent. I mean, there's going to be guys that are going to be out there that can play the game. So it's trying to put from a prospect's point of view, you're trying to put yourself out there as much as you can. And you want to have as many people see what's going on. Or you want to put yourself out there for as many teams as you can see. So that's why we've gone ahead and invited some other teams. I believe the representatives from the Colorado Crush, the Wichita Falls, and the Iowa Barnstormers are all going to be there. So for a prospect, he's working out for 4 teams. He's not just working out for one IFL franchise. He's working out for 4. So you can put yourself out there for 4 franchises. Because at the end of the day, I might not like what I see. It's nothing personal. It's just what we're looking for to fit into our offense or our defense. But it may be perfect for what I was looking for. Or vice versa. I may find someone that I think is going to be perfect for us, but Wichita Falls might not like what they see. And from that standpoint, if you're just working out for one team, if it doesn't work or they don't like what they're seeing, that's pretty much the end of it. But since we're going to have 4 teams out there, there's more of a selection. There's more eyes that are going to be on you. There's more people that are going to be seeing and evaluating what you're doing out there as an athlete. And I think from an athlete's perspective, I think that's what everybody's looking for. They're looking for that exposure. They're looking to put themselves out there so that the most amount of eyes that they can gather are going to be seeing them.
Well, Coach, I really do appreciate the time you give me this morning. Is there anyone specific that you want to thank, or is there anyone else that you'd like to mention to maybe somebody watching this about the opportunity you've been presented here with the Eagles?
Well, I'd definitely like to thank all the fans that were involved in the process with selecting me as the head coach. But it makes me feel good about what I've done, that people realize my accomplishments. That's the word I was trying to say. People realize the accomplishments that I've done, and people understand the process that it takes to get there. So I definitely like to thank all of them. I'd like to thank everybody in the organization for giving me this opportunity. I think it's going to be a great thing. It could be a monumental shift for not just football, but for all sports involved because of the involvement with the fans.